Good morning, it's Andrew from Andrew's Orchids. I just want to show some blooms that opened up, and also kind of like how I was talking about moving my equipment around. I'll give a little update on that. It's a little dirty in here. I got some leaves that I pulled off, but it'll be okay. So I'll start with this, the Lucinieri, and them buds are coming along pretty well. It's starting to plump up a little bit again, so that's doing good. This J or QF John Fields Pathiopedilum, the buds are starting to extend a lot. Hopefully that hopefully that blooms out. Then I got this Phragmipedium. Let me get the tag real quick. Phragmipedium Peruflora Spirit 3N. Quite a big flower. Nice color. It's pretty nice. It's really nice. Has another bud coming. And then this little Schlimii. It's coming. It has another spike on it also. And then, of course, this frag. The buds are starting to fill out a little bit. So this Dendrobium nanochip, I believe it is. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, nanochip. I put it in a saucer of water and it looks like it's liking that a little bit better. It's starting to plump up the growth again and put out the flowers. But I'll tell you something that's pissed off at me. I'll show you this one. I don't know what's going on with this one. I thought this were gonna make it, but I guess this plant is just pissed off at me. I watered it and that's what happened. I don't know if it was from watering it or just moving it from the other side to over here, or maybe it got too warm or something. I don't know what happened, but this plant is pissed off at me. So I got hold on, let's see. I got one bud left. Oh my gosh. So from 5 new growths that all had flower buds, I got one bud that is probably gonna blast on me too. So oh well, I guess better in luck next year. So yeah, that plant is just pissed off at me. It just does not want to flower for me. It went one season, made new growths and didn't do nothing, and then this one was like the best season it's had. Gave me all them spikes, and yeah, it's mad. So then this Miltonia is putting out some flowers. This one looks like it's going over. It didn't last too long actually. Let me look what I tell you real quick. Miltonia Benolti by Miltonia Moto Grosso, Mexico. I think that's the same as this other plant here that I have. It's just that one isn't named. I think this is just a named variety of that, and it's Miltonia Juicy Fruit Mexico or Mexico. I don't even know what that says. So I think it's just a name variety of that cross though. And then I guess some success story, I guess, or something, is that Dendrobium phalaenopsis that had no roots is starting to push up new growth. So I got 3 new growths on that. Need to water it a little bit more. And hopefully these guys won't fail me. This spike is super, like, sending out a ton of branches now, and this one up here is starting to branch too a lot. And then we still got the 3 cherry babies, and they're still growing, so that's good. But yeah, it's a shame for that Cattleya. I was just so looking forward to it, but it's mad at me. And let me just show you the neos. So there's new roots growing on all this. This one has 3 new roots on it. Sorry. 3 new roots growing in there. Same as the other one, so looks like they're coming along. Can't wait till they start really getting some growth on them. But right now, I guess the success story is this frag. So, and the little shlimmy eye. Okay, but let me show you what I did for this equipment now. So I just put the fan. This is how I normally have the fan with the heater on the bottom, so it kind of helps circulate the air. These are plugged into. This is plugged into a thermostat. The cords run across the bottom here. I covered it with a piece of linoleum so I don't trip on it. And we go into the door. Around the corners of plug. And then I also have this humidistat plugged into the thermostat in the cooling outlet. So when the temperature gets too hot, it goes into cooling mode, which then gives this power. But that doesn't mean this turns on right away. It will only turn on when it dips below, I think, 53% humidity. Because I don't, like I said, I don't want it to get super dry in here no more, like it used to. So that will basically come on, run for a while, and this 5-gallon bucket, on a really hot day, it will use that. On a mild day, it will use about half of it. So the plants, I think, are enjoying it a lot better. But yeah, that's how that is. And then the humidistat obviously is connected to the pump then, and then there's the sprayers. And this area here is basically protected from spray. So I got one sprayer pointing over here. It kind of hits the Lalias and the bonsai and all that. And then I have the other sprayer here pointing over to those orchids, and it really basically just missed this kind of shelf here, which is good. Because that's where my frags and the dendrobium and stuff are, and this bubble phyllum too, which I think it needs more. Definitely, I don't think, I know it needs more water. So I have this kind of like in the line of fire of the mister, so that I could start to get it to send down some roots. And I think this is gonna be a flower spike though. This little growth right in there, I think that it is going to be a flower spike. So hopefully it does good. I got some of these new growths here. They're sending roots into the sphagnum, so should be coming along. I wish that this dendrobium here would send out some spikes. It did send out a few like a month or two ago, but they blasted from the heat. I wish they would. I wish it would do it again. Let me see, what else can I show you? Oh, this Phalaenopsis that has had that dry leaf in it. I think this is a flower bud, or yeah, a flower bud here that I uncovered when I took off the bottom leaves because they were all manky. But that looks like it's starting to push out, and as you can see, there's some little green tips for roots, so that looks like it's maybe going to be happy and start doing something. I mean, it's kind of a sad plant, and if it pushes out a spike, it's going to use a lot of energy, but I don't know. I don't think it would push out a spike if it couldn't handle it. I don't know, we'll see. And then this one that I just recently done looks okay. These the tips on the flower spikes looks like they're still living, so I think that's gonna make it. This one looks like some roots are trying to come out, and I can see into the pots here. The roots are looking okay. I don't see any like new growing tips really on any of the orchids in the pots, but it's gonna take just a little bit of time for them to readjust after being repotted. I don't know. I think this is that orchid fleck virus. And this, see, some of these plants, like I said, like this one over here, I think that one had a leaf like that with all pocked out, and I just took it from the bottom, hoping that the plant would be okay. Oh, look, I think we have a flower spike gonna come out on this one. You see down in there that triangle-ish shape right in the leaf joint there? That's a flower bud. Hopefully it continues to progress. That would be nice. But you know, the leaves, this I don't think that virus really affects flowers, but it just makes the leaves look kind of crappy. Let's look at this one. This one has been growing fairly well, actually. It put out a lot of leaves, but it hasn't attempted to flower. And its spike, I trimmed it hoping that it would maybe branch, but as you can see that it said no. So, I don't know, there's a little bit of fungus growing in there. But oh well, it'll be okay. If it takes over more, then I'll change it. But I mean, that's orchid bark for you. And it looks actually like this tip here might be growing. So we'll see what happens. Looks okay. This little guy sending out lots of roots. The Kiki or Keiki is getting bigger. Hopefully we can or I can get some flowers off of this thing. These had like a lemony scent. There's root tips growing there. There. So look at this zygo again. I'm looking at these little parts there. It doesn't look too good, but it doesn't look that bad, honestly. I just don't want it to because it's drying. I don't want it to constrict that new growth on the bottom. I'm being nosy. Maybe that's why my orchids hate me. I'm always looking in their private parts. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, yeah. But, yeah. New growth there on that zygo. This little guy's clumping up, putting up that new growth. And you know, it's funny because you know, everyone says don't get your zygo leaves wet. Now see, these are just older leaves. That's why I think they're doing that, spotting. But all these new leaves, they get sprayed every day. When I water it and it gets down into the cracks and crevices. But I always have my fan running on the highest speed and circulating the air. And I don't really seem to have any issues with the black spotting. I also did notice too, though, when the media was breaking down a little bit more, that's when it would get some funniness on the leaves. So I think it's just got more to do with just the media and the happiness of the roots than really, oh, we got a new growth. Then we finally got a new growth coming out on this Zygopetalum jumping jack. It had a flower spike when I got it, and it just, in the new growth here, but it just, something happened. It started rotting, and the rot was started when it was mailed here. So I sprayed everything with a fungicide and everything like that, like I said I'm starting to do, and it just kind of went dormant for a while, and now it looks like it's gonna start coming back to life. So one new growth there. There's a few potential eyes on this growth where the new growth was from. So hopefully that growth succeeds and can start putting some energy back into this plant. This is another one. I don't know if I treated this one. This is my I think I'm gonna put this in semi-hydro though, like now, like maybe I'll do a video of it, but it's definitely not getting enough water. It has some new roots coming on it, and it definitely just needs more water. So semi-hydro, I think, is gonna be what's gonna happen to that. Vanilla, I love seeing these roots on the vanilla. That's when I know it's happy. And we can get them nice, long, 2-foot roots. And you know, it's so funny because I don't have a humidifier going. I never did in here. I would always just come in and spray in here. That's it. Like when I watered, and then whatever residual water was lingering on the floor would, you know, humidify this. But I've managed to get 2-foot long roots just from that. But now that I got this, the mister, hopefully it'll be a little bit more easy for this vanilla to send out its aerial roots. And I just want to show you the roots in the pot too though. Like, look at how fat and nice they are. And this, I actually planted, this is the end that I planted in the pot from the cutting I took. It's no longer in there. It just sent down these roots, and that's what's now taking over the pot. So that's good. I'm happy with that. As long as it's getting some kind of moisture. I want to look at this little dendrobium real quick. Come on, dendrobium. Show me some nubbins. It's probably going to be a while, though. All right, guys. I think that's all I'm going to show you for today. Maybe, actually, I'll probably pause it, and then I'll pick up in my other little grow space with my Miltonias. Okay? I'll see you in a bit. Okay, back. So we were just on the western side of my house. Now we're in the eastern side. So these are where I keep my Miltonias. I kind of got some stuff in front of a chair that I'm getting rid of, but I have this like shelf here. I got this bamboo plant. It looks like it needs some water. Yeah, it's kind of dry. These guys probably, yeah, they can use some water. I have a little bit of gravel. I fill this up and I let the pot wake up the water, and they completely love it. I completely drench this moss too, and they continue to send out new growths and send down their roots. You know, I see a lot of people growing these things really dry, and they are, because they're always talking, you know, okay, they grow them dry because they're afraid to rot the roots. But then they always say, well, my leaves are Constantine and the new growths are, you know, like sending the roots up the leaves and stuff like that. But I just want to show you like how wet I keep mine. Pretty much they've dried out, but just this last weekend I watered them, so it's been about a week, but they've used up pretty much all their water. You can see there's still moisture and humidity, and this is what I'm talking about, like Kokodama kind of style. I'm planting it above the rim of this little deli cup, but just to improve a little bit more aeration. But I water as much as I possibly can, and you can see here the roots actually break through the leaves. If you give these plants enough water, the new growth grows so quickly that they bust the leaves open in order for the new roots to come out. Let me show another one. This one kind of grew on the side, so not really showing that. Sorry for the lighting, it's kind of bad. But let's look at this bigger one too. Yeah, that growth there's on the side, and then there's one in the middle. But I mean, the one in the middle, if you can see, kind of has busted through and is putting out roots. And there's roots that are growing down in there. And I just repotted these like maybe a month or so ago because I don't know why, because I like to mess with my I like to mess with my plants. But this is a Bucastera, I believe. Melissa Briani. That's got some new growth sending down roots in the same style as the other one. And they seem to be doing well. All the leaves are looking happy. So I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. In here, basically, I've kept it about 70, 75-ish. And then during the day, it gets a little bit warmer now that I have the heat on, and the greenhouse collects all the heat. So in the house, it probably gets up to maybe like 80 or 85, I'd say highest. But I don't think they mind it. Like I said, I was reading the AOS culture sheets on these things, and it says that they grow in Costa Rica on the coast. So I don't know. I've never been to Costa Rica. I don't really know what the climate is, but I would assume that the coastline of Costa Rica would be warmer. So I don't know if they're really that cool of a grower, but they seem to be doing fine in here. And they don't get any temperature difference. It's basically a constant temperature of like 70 degrees. So they seem to be doing well. But I guess that's pretty much it. I guess back to the thought of keeping them a little bit moister will help them to help their new growths develop better. Because you see these fat bulbs, that's what's breaking the leaves. It's not the roots that push out, it's actually the growth swelling so quickly that the leaf doesn't expand, it just splits. So maybe if you have a Miltoniopsis, try keeping it a little bit more moist if you're having troubles with the new growth and the leaves crinkling. And if your roots are dying off in the media, then maybe you should switch the media to something, I don't know, that would help serve the purpose of air and the proper water retention. I don't know, maybe semi-hydro. But yeah, I keep mine in sphagnum moss, and I fill this container up, this planter box, like with an inch or two of water above the pebbles. So it's just that constant wicking motion that I think helps to aerate the plants and keep the water kind of fresh in the root system. That's why they like it, or that's why they're succeeding. So, all right, that's it. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.